We feel guilt when we experienced perceived wrongdoings in our life. And yet, feelings of guilt can be avoided as we learn self-responsibility. I'm Kay. Our video teaches how to let go of guilt. First step, accept what has happened. It's already happened. It doesn't matter what's happened, you just have to accept that it has happened. And then you move to the next step, which is reflect with an empathetic perspective. We consider others' feelings. So generally when it comes to needing to let go of guilt, it's because something's happened with others. You know, maybe just one person, maybe more. So consider their feelings when you go into a state of reflection, which means to be with your thoughts. Next step, determine whether your behaviours are justified. When we determine whether our behaviours are justified, we're accepting responsibility for any behaviour that may have actually been unacceptable on our part. And in doing so, we're rising above the blame notion. We're rising above that needing to blame someone else for something that actually we need to take responsibility for ourselves. So because of this, sometimes we actually need to make amends. You know, there may be an apology that needs to happen. And I'm not saying that you have to apologise for everything that's happened, because some of what you may be perceiving yourself to be feeling guilty for is actually not something you need to feel guilty for at all. So it's only what you've done that's unacceptable that you need to go then and apologise for. And this brings us to our next step, because once we've truly, let ourselves release that apology for anything that we may have actually felt we have done wrong, then we can move to that next step, which is to accept that your behaviours are justified. And so within this, you're learning from your behaviours. You're actually learning that it's okay for you to speak your mind, or speak your truth rather, and that you take responsibility for the fact that you actually are entitled to say what you feel needs to be said. Which brings us to our next step, which is forgive yourself and others involved. You forgive yourself for feeling the guilt, and you forgive others by accepting a choice to make a change. It's up to you to actually decide that enough is enough. You've had enough of feeling guilty, and so you want to change what has happened. So accept that choice and forgive those people involved who have allowed you to feel that guilt and quite possibly that hurt through it all. Forgiveness, it really is an incredible way to release. And we come now to our next step, which is to trust yourself to let go when you're ready. So within that forgiveness, there is this trust that eventually it'll pass, eventually you'll be able to let go. And we do this so that we can let go of an unhealthy cycle. We break it by making a choice to make a change. When we take responsibility for our own behaviour and we apologise for that unacceptable behaviour, we allow ourselves an opportunity to release a guilty conscience, because so often that guilty conscience is not yours to carry. It's something that has been passed through from not only the words that you have spoken, but the words that other people have spoken too, and they get planted in your mind, and that's when that cycle starts to bring that feeling of guiltiness into your life. But it can be broken. So I hope these steps will help you do that. If you'd like to hear more about concepts like these, then please subscribe or join us at lovingactsofkindness.com. Thank you. Live a life of love.